the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic new stuff for Tundras is, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me for another fun episode of the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast is the one and only Mr. Jimmy Jett in studio. And then we have another special guest here for you guys, holding on the line while we get through all the boring crap. So, Jimmy, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. It's we're making this thing work. Where are you currently at?
I am currently in a gas station parking lot.
Up in the mountains.
So anybody knows the Highway 50 corridor here in NorCal, as you're heading up to the Rubicon, you pass Fresh Pond. There's a Chevron at Fresh Pond. It's pretty much the only thing at Fresh Pond. And I'm in that parking lot right now. The goal was to get all the way up to Ice House Resort and hang out there while we did the recording. But I got pretty much all the way through Sacramento and realized I forgot my stove. So I had to turn back around.
Ooh, rookie move. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was tempted to try and go the weekend on cold food, but it's going to be 12 degrees at night this weekend. So I was like, I need my stove. I need some hot food. So
absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a very
the Fresh Pond
cold
parking lot.
Yes, that's good. That's hilarious. I'm surprised you didn't go and get yourself a coffee or anything, while you're on the phone here. I
was debating it. But we got here with like 10 minutes and I needed to get gas and rearrange the back because I'm bad at packing. I had to do it very last minute quickly. So I just threw everything in the back of the 4Runner and ran.
Awesome. Too fun. Well, we do have a fun interview for everybody today. Some new updates from our good friends over at Ironman 4x4 and some of the new things that they have coming out for multiple different vehicles. But before we get to that, we need to do a little bit of housekeeping. Tyler, why don't you tell everybody what the last minute giveaway gift items are this month?
For November or October?
Oh, I think this one's still in October.
We're still in October?
Yes, we got one day left.
Sweet. So we have some really awesome stuff called Proof Syrup. And that's kind of like the bonus one. So you guys, we talked about the gift boxes for Jim's box in October here. And a lot of alcoholics listeners. We have a lot of alcoholic listeners, by the way.
Yes,
they're all writing in saying how much they love your box, by Jimmy. So yeah, we got the gift boxes. So we have two of them that we're giving away to two winners from the giveaway tier this month. So if you weren't in the gift box tier, you have a chance to win a couple of gift boxes. If you end up winning and you got a gift box, congratulations, you get more alcohol. So,
well, no alcohol in the box.
There is alcohol in the Proof Syrup.
Are there in the old fashions though?
That's a good question. I just assumed he meant all of them when we were talking with him. It's just a really low percentage. So, and you're not going to drink the syrup.
Correct.
So,
yeah. I don't, my guess is there's no alcohol in the old fashioned ones, because you don't need multiple different types of alcohol in an old fashioned.
True.
So
fair.
Just that's the legal talk coming out of my rear end right now. Anyways,
the legal department whispered over to you.
Yes, exactly. The boss.
Yeah, that's funny.
So we've got
the gift boxes.
Yep.
If people want to purchase a gift box, we will be putting the leftovers after we're 100% certain that all the gift boxes made it to everybody. We ordered a couple extras this time. So we'll put the extras up on the Snail Trail website so you guys can purchase them if you'd like. They are pretty awesome. They're pretty fantastic. I might end up buying another one for myself. We'll see. But then the special extra bonus parts are the Proof Syrup. So we have the pumpkin spice old fashioned. And what was it? The margarita?
Margarita. Yep.
Yeah.
And if you put whiskey in it, it's a whiskey Rita. So it depends on how you want to do that. I forgot
that I I forgot that I took home the whiskey mule, the Moscow Mule mix. And so I was looking at it last night and I was like getting ready for bed when I noticed it. And I was like, oh, I could have one, but it's so close to bedtime. So I didn't end up having one.
So did you bring it with you?
No, I didn't. God dang it, Jimmy. If you want to drive by my house on the way up here, that would be fantastic if you could pick that up.
Let me go half an hour the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did get an email from Patrick Eddy, and he said if he does win the gift box for the giveaway items and he gets the pumpkin spice version, we can sample it first.
So Patrick Eddy just won the giveaway. We have an announcement to make, guys.
Yep. We have a runner up.
Right.
It's totally funny. Let's see. So you got one more day to get in for the gift box tiers for Tyler's month coming up here in April. And I think we kind of already have a good idea of what we're going to be throwing in this box. We had a short little text message back and forth that I think we've kind of solved that problem already. So hopefully we can start the ball rolling for everybody, get everything in once again earlier than before, and get all those gift boxes out. And hopefully I won't be moving again right as we're sending out those gift boxes. So you got one more day to get in for those gift boxes.
If you're moving again, then something bad happened, Jimmy.
Yeah, right. It's something seriously bad. So let's see. We've also got reviews going on. Always have reviews going on. Once we get to 750 reviews, we're giving away a set of Yokohama tires. Every 50 reviews up to 750, we're giving away swag packs. And I think we're rolling up pretty close. 590 coming up close on that 600 mark. So get in for those, get in entered for some swag packs. And then hopefully, we get a awesome winner for that 750 review for the Yokohama tires.
Yep. Pretty cool, man. I'm going to try and make sure I win those as well. So
I think we got a lot of people with their fingers crossed.
I have a question. If anybody who is going to win the tires wants to let me borrow them and use them and sample them, kind of like the pumpkin spice proof syrup beforehand, your chances of winning just skyrocket.
Perfect.
Let's see. What else do we have? Do we have other stuff? November's giveaway is coming up, but we can talk about that later. I think we should just get into it with 45.
We've got episode 450 coming up.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I was trying to do hand signals. Coming up. It wasn't working.
I saw the hand. You needed 450.
I think I just did a fist. Sorry.
Yeah. The episode 450 is coming up. So we've been getting some pretty good feedback so far. So we have a few emails to read, a couple voicemails to listen to. We want to hear more. And so if you guys have any tips or tricks out there for going off-roading, going camping, going on road trips with little kids, like infants or 10-year-olds, Jimmy and I have a lot of questions, and we want to know how to make this better and make this easier on the kids and make it easier on us. So make it more enjoyable for the kids, right? Too. So send in your guys' feedback. We're going to have the significant others on, so the secretary and the assistant, and we'll get to talk about wheeling and off-roading and camping and road trips with kids of all ages, and kind of what the thoughts are, what the anecdotal evidence says from listeners. What I know that the secretary has a lot of researched evidence for stuff. I think it's going to be a fun discussion, and I'm very curious about it because I'm having a kid in March, a little boy, and I want to get him out on the trails and camping like as soon as possible. So I'm going to turn him into a little Davy Crockett probably. We'll see. I just want to know, how early is too early? What tricks are there? And, how old is too old to wait to? Like, was it a waste to wait until 2 years old or 3 years old, whatever some people did? So I have questions I want to know. And I know that Jimmy has a 10-year-old that he wants to know some tips and tricks for. So, write in, let us know.
Yep, we do have all those ways to contact us down in the show notes, and we do say them at the end of this episode. So listen all the way to the end to figure that out.
Sweet. Anything else?
No more hand signals flying. I think we're good this time.
I was waiting for the hand signal. Cool, man. Well, then let's get over. I like that one. That's a thumb. That's a hitchhiker's thumb. Mine doesn't do that. Mine's like straight up. See that? You're weird.
I am.
Anyways, this is why we need to start doing podcast videos. So
I guess so.
Show people what we're doing. Anyways, let's get over. We got a fun British dude. We called him Australian, I think, the first time, and he got severely offended.
I thought it was South African.
South Africa? No, that's my employee, Jimmy.
Oh, okay, got it.
No, we got Luke here from Ironman 4x4, and a huge shout out and congratulations to Luke. He hit a milestone in his life today. He had coffee for the first time. Oh, that's right. Ever.
Yeah, first time ever in his life. Today he had coffee.
Friggin' British people, man. No, you guys are weird.
They are, for sure.
We were even talking about there's Beadlock coffee in their booth at PNW Expo. He still never had the coffee there.
No.
Jeez. Yeah. Anyways, Luke, you're weird. Welcome to the life of coffee. I hope you get severely addicted, and I'll bring you coffee out of SEMA. How's that? So I'm totally gonna do that. I'm gonna surprise him with a cup of coffee and see what he says.
Perfect. Do it.
All right. Let's head on over. Everybody grab your favorite drinks, grab your favorite beverages, grab your favorite snacks. We got some fun things about what Ironman 4x4 has been up to and some really cool stuff that they're branching out into and coming out with here in the near future for all sorts of different kinds of vehicles. So without further ado, take a quick break. We'll get to hear from Brian at 4 Wheel Underground, and we'll be right on back with Luke from Ironman 4x4.
Are you looking for superior suspension for your Toyota off-road vehicle? At 4 Wheel Underground, we take every effort to engineer tight tolerances and proper material thicknesses in order to achieve a durable suspension with bitchin' fitment. Check out our quality kits with USA manufacturing at 4wheelunderground.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentle ladies. We are here in our virtual studio in 3 different locations. It's always fun when we can make this work. I'm up in the Sierras. Jimmy's back at his house. And we have Luke all the way from the UK. Luke, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. You're up in Washington right now, aren't you?
This is an international delay, sorry. Yes, I am. I'm in Oregon.
Oh, that's funny. We got Luke back from Ironman 4x4, the operational overlord of Ironman 4x4 America in the United States here. Figured we haven't talked to you guys since PNW Expo and wanted to catch up with Ironman and see what you guys are up to, see what you've been up to. I know that you guys have a lot of fun up there and you guys are always getting your hands into all sorts of fun things. So, how's things been since Expo, man?
Good. We've been busy, as always. There's a lot going on right now. Obviously, there's a lot of new Toyota vehicles coming out into the market that we're scrambling after. The new Tundra's been out for a little while, the Sequoia, but obviously we've got the Tacoma and the Land Cruiser coming up. And then, when the Forerunner comes, in 2025 or whenever that materializes. But we've got a handful with those, wow. And obviously we're expanding into other OEMs as well. So it's good.
That's cool. You guys work pretty closely with Toyota National, right?
We've got a relationship with them. We developed a whole host of RAV4 products. We kind of hand in hand with them. They basically came to us and said they understand that they need to embrace accessorization a little more than they have historically, especially as other brands are coming into the market and really, do a very good job. Look at Ford with how they've done with the Bronco, Jeep, obviously, and then even the likes of Subaru, which have been kind of nibbling away at their heels with the Subaru lineup on Crosstrek Outback and Forester. So they've seen what we've done on a few different vehicles globally, and hey, we need to kind of get in the game on accessories, and we can give you some RAV4s to do R&D on. So that's kind of to the extent that we've worked with them so far. And they've got a couple of things going on, like they've got an accessory program that they work through their dealers with that we're talking to them on. But yeah, it's good. They're a beast.
Nice. Are you guys getting some Land Cruisers then to start outfitting and seeing what you can do with those?
We are, absolutely. Yeah. We actually was just talking to one of the guys from SEMA Garage, and they've got a Tacoma and a Land Cruiser going through, I think it's through Detroit, the SEMA Garage there in the next month. So we're looking at coordinating. We're looking at coordinate a trip there to scan and measure and do all those things that you've got to do up front to develop product.
I'm surprised that Toyota, because they are making a big push for accessorization and aftermarket products, built into your vehicle from essentially the factory, right? The dealer puts it on and you get a factory warranty on stuff. That's the whole point of the Trail Hunter program. I'm kind of surprised they're not supplying you guys with scans of the vehicles already, like the people that they want in that Trail Hunter program or that they want to be working with. That way, you guys, once the vehicle launches, you guys are ready to go already.
Yeah, I think really that they've picked a few people that they're working with on to that level. Obviously, they got ARB with the Trail Hunter. So look, if I was ARB and Toyota came knocking on the Ironman door after I've developed a load of products for the Trail Hunter, I'd be like, what the hell? So I'm sure they're kind of playing the game there and making sure that they're working with a few core partners, and then we work around that.
That's fair, I guess. That makes a lot more sense because I always forget that ARB has Old Man Emu and they're in the suspension game pretty big too. So
yeah, correct. They've had a long-standing relationship. I know you guys had Kurt on not so long ago. Mm-hmm. He's on the board for like body on frame vehicles. With Toyota on that kind of development board, and also he's got a long-standing relationship with ARB. So there are some close ties there, and
What's going to be interesting is seeing how many people take off those Old Man Emus and put on the foam cells.
That's our mission, right? It's all about having the right tool for the job, and there's going to be the right job for those products, and then there is the right job for things like Foam Cell Pro and the other suspension that we offer.
Nice. We've been kind of watching the Land Cruisers. We had Kurt on to talk to about them, and we're pretty excited for however those turn out, because there wasn't a ton that Kurt was allowed to tell us, but he teased a lot of stuff. So we're excited to see how those turn out. Have you guys gotten into kind of getting stuff ready for the Tacomas, the new fourth gens?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of kind of work behind the scenes there. Again, we've not got our hands on a vehicle, so a lot of it is theoretical to this point. When we've got close to the vehicles, obviously we're doing what we can to gather intel, but we need to get the vehicle to really.
I can just imagine you guys out at P&W Expo with a scanner.
Oh yeah.
With somebody like have Wagner distracting all the Toyota people, and then you and Miller are hanging out underneath the vehicle scanning all the Tacomas out there.
We did take the scanners to Expo West, and they might come down to SEMA with us.
Nice.
Is there a big difference between Tacomas and Hiluxes? Because isn't the new generation of Hilux already out in Australia?
So it's coming up, from what I recall. They got the next gen Ford Ranger probably about a year ago now, and that's been a big deal because the Ford Ranger there, I think, overtook the Hilux in terms of the best-selling vehicle.
Wow.
In Australia. Wow. And I think for like 3 years
impressive.
running, they did a phenomenal job with that. And what we're getting here with the Ford Ranger is more comparable to the Australian Ranger, because they've got basically they make that Ford Ranger in Thailand, and it was designed in that particular market in Australia. So it's almost been a different animal. Ford say it's going to be a global platform. They said that last time, and it wasn't. In Australia, we've developed a whole lineup for that next generation Ranger that's been out in the market now for a little while. And then I've brought product in here in anticipation of that vehicle being launched, so we can get straight on to fit testing and validate that it is actually a global product. And it's going to be a similar gig with the Hilux. I think the Hilux is in Mexico, over the Tacoma. But I mean, in terms of legacy, the Hilux and the Tacoma have been really quite different. Yeah, where the Tacoma here is seen as and used as a kind of a versatile all-round vehicle, and comfort is definitely, well, I say comfort is in mind with the Tacoma, maybe not so much.
Comfort was definitely never the priority with the Tacoma.
the Hilux is far more agricultural, so there are definitely differences. They treat those, they treat the North American consumer different to the Australian one.
Got it.
Yeah, some fun stuff. Lots of cool vehicles coming out that you guys have the opportunity to get on board with and start coming out with some stuff for some fun things.
Yeah, correct.
You guys are going to be out at SEMA this week. This episode's going to be airing on Monday. So
Yes.
You guys are going to be out at SEMA. I'll make sure to stop by and say hi to you guys.
Awesome.
What are some of the things that you guys are planning on having in your booth? Because I heard you guys have a pretty sizable booth there this year.
Well, yeah, this is going to be the first time that we've been to SEMA, certainly in this kind of current iteration of Ironman 4x4. The Ironman came into the US market probably like 2013, 2014, and they were here for a very short time. They did SEMA back then, but the market just wasn't ready at that time. Now it is, and also that's why we're doing quite well. So we're back at SEMA, which is exciting. It's going to be a new adventure for us, and obviously it's predominantly wholesale, like B2B based, but also they open up to consumer now. I think it's Fridays. We're launching a collection of products actually. The Tundra. So really if we're talking about new vehicles, the Tundra's been out for a little while now. So my view is good things come to those who wait, just like a great drink of Guinness.
Yeah.
So we're launching the lineup for the new Tundra. We've got a collection of suspension, which is on pre-order right now on our website. And it's going to be really the first time that the wholesale industry have seen the suspension.
Nice.
And there are going to be a few different stages to how we release this. What we've got on the truck down there is the Foam Cell Pro suspension, and I think it's a 2.5-inch lift that we're offering to the market initially. That Tundra is quite complex in terms of its suspension setup and making sure that it's easy to lift a vehicle. It's difficult to lift a vehicle and make sure it performs.
Yeah.
And that's why it's taken us the time that it's, because we want to make sure we do it right. We've heard just some nightmares of people putting lift kits on their Tundras and the CVs popping out and other issues. Anyway, we want to make sure we do it right, which is why it's taken some time. So and that's also why we're doing it in stages. So the 2.5-inch lift kit is going to be on that vehicle, and again, that's what's releasing. I think we start delivering November 1, somewhere around there. And we've got two variants. So we've got the Foam Cell Pro. So the Foam Cell Pro is really that go anywhere, do anything touring suspension system. And then we've got our Nitro gas offering, and that's kind of your upgrade from stock in terms of comfort and durability. And then with all of our suspension, you're able to tune it based on the weight of your vehicle. And that's something that's reasonably unique.
Like, what do you mean? Like the customer can order it pre-tuned from you guys?
A lot of the American suspension brands, say you go to look for a suspension kit for a Tundra, you get your shocks and you get your coils, but they don't necessarily allow you to choose the type of coil that you need in terms of the height or the load-bearing capacity of it. It's kind of a one-size-fits-all for most brands, whereas the kind of Australian method is understand the weight of that truck, the front end, the back end, the dynamics of the vehicle, and then provide you with the relevant shock absorber and coil to deal with that. So we've got 3 coils for the front end, because you might be stock and you don't need, or you might have a hefty Ironman bumper on there, and that weighs 150, 200 pounds. You need a coil to be able to deal with that weight. You need a shock absorber to deal with that weight. So we allow you to choose based on the weight of the vehicle, both front and rear.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we've got different valve shocks as well. So we have an FEC, so a comfort version. We have an FE, which we call performance, and then we have an FEP, which is for like seriously heavy loads, like think about contractors or somebody that's doing a pretty epic overland build and they've got an alu cabin on the back.
Are all those options going to be available for the Tundra?
They are. Yep, correct. So this first version, like I say, is the 2.5-inch kit. All those coil options will be there. And then the next release is going to be around about February, I think. And that's when we get to step up to a 3.5-inch kit and then start offering you upper control arms as well. So it'll be a standard, we do a Pro Forge upper control arm in a lot of the other vehicle offerings that we have. So we're looking at what we are developing a Pro Forge upper control arm for the Tundra as well. And you have to have that, especially as you go higher than that 2.5-inch lift.
Yeah, you're putting a lot more stress there.
Yeah, correct.
Have you guys always done kind of choose your coils, choose your shock, different levels for your suspension vehicles?
Yeah, we have. Again, it is super common. Again, out of Australia, it's like the MO. Not so much here for some reason.
Yeah.
And we've even done it with Subaru. So, look at the other end of the spectrum with the CUV. Even there, we offer a standard and then we call it Spec C, basically for dealing with a lot more accessories. So the shock absorber is revalved and the coil is designed to carry that load, because your coil leaf springs are the load bearing feature of the suspension.
Well, interesting. You're going to have to fire Wagner or something, because he's never mentioned that to us before in different episodes.
We'll forgive him. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. I want to know what you guys did in the rear end of the Tundra, because isn't it a 4-link setup back there? It's a 5-link setup back there. 5-link
suspension, but we had some prior learning because the Land Cruiser 300 series came out in Australia maybe a year before the Tundra. There was time, at least. So the engineers, we've got a pretty significant engineering team in Australia across all the different disciplines that we do. So for suspension and then armor and outdoor lifestyle and lighting. So the suspension team got a lot of seat time with that 300 series. Again, we buy the vehicles and do the R&D on them. So they've basically gone through that process with that vehicle that we then could just carry over because it's the same chassis. It's effectively, all the underpinnings of that vehicle are the same now across the 300 series, the LX600, the Tundra, the Sequoia, and the Tacoma, and maybe the 4Runner. We'll see. Certainly the Land Cruiser, the Land Cruiser Prado that we're getting here. So it's a much simpler way of going about suspension in the grand scheme of things. Certainly from a development perspective, leaf springs are quite primitive, and going to absorber and coil combination is a little easier to deal with. It's certainly easier to ship, which is a win for us. So,
are you guys having to modify any of the geometry back there on that 5-link, or does a 2.5-inch lift work just fine with the stock geometry on the links and everything?
The 2.5 is fine, but we, as we go, as that kind of next stage comes out early next year, we are going to be offering, I think, extended links, trailing arms, and a panhard bar as well. So
very
that
cool.
You can reposition the axle. Again, we've got to do it. We've got to do it right, and that's that. This is going to be one of the first times, really, again, in this current version of Ironman, certainly in the US, where we're actually able to get on a new vehicle, because everything that we've dealt with to date has been in the market for a long time. Think about the 4Runner, think about the Tacoma, think about the previous generation Tundra. They've been around for a long time. So we're being at the kind of early stages of a vehicle release is really exciting for us. And we're also able to do what we do in Australia, which is develop a full package of products for the vehicle. So the suspension is one component, obviously, and we'll have that in different iterations. But we've also got a full lineup of front bumpers. So we've got a full-on Aussie-style rhubar, with triple hoops and, the thing's freaking bomb-proof. All the while It's crash safety tested. It's winch compatible. It works with all the parking sensors and what have you. So we're not taking away any features. All we're doing is adding safety and security and clearance and all those other things that come with an aftermarket bumper. So we've got that. Then we've got kind of a stripped down version. We've also got insert bumpers. So we've got 3 different flavors of front bumpers for the Tundra. They're all getting released. I think they'll be in the country around about December time. We've got two variants of steps, one that's more light duty, one's more heavy duty, and then we've got rear bumpers as well, and there are a couple of flavors of those. We've also, for the first time, got electric tonneau covers, so aluminum-powered tonneau covers, and the manual version that are coming out for the Tundra, and a whole lineup of other vehicles as well. So normally there's a vehicle, certainly in Australia, it's a 360-degree accessorization, and this, we're finally there, which is super exciting. And it's really the same for every new vehicle that gets launched in the US from here on out. And certainly Toyota, because that's our bread and butter as a brand. We've been working or accessorizing Toyotas for 45 years. So as soon as a new Toyota comes out, we know we've got to be on it. And that's why we're really quite excited about the new Tacoma and the Land Cruiser, because although it's taken us a while to get the Tundra to market, and Sequoia's coming pretty quickly as well, we really expect to expedite those other 2 new vehicles which are due to release. I think we're going to start seeing Tacomas come onto the lots around November, December, and also the Land Cruiser a little earlier next year.
Mm.
But yeah, it's not going to take us as long to get those going. Earlier this year, and we've got other iterations of that coming for next year as well. That's not going to be at SEMA. We're going to have our current version. The product evolution is ongoing.
Yeah.
So on this Tundra, you mentioned steps. Did you, when you said steps, are they really that? Are they steps, or are they kind of a rock slider? Is that a British term that is that we don't use over here? Or?
Well, it's funny because rock sliders don't exist in Australia or the UK for that matter. So we've got, I would say,
You guys have hedgehog sliders, right?
Hedgehog sliders, yes. We've got effectively, we've truly got a step. Think of what you would see at any dealership that they're putting onto. That they're putting onto trucks. So we've got an iteration of that, which truly just is a step to get into the vehicle. It's not load bearing for the vehicle. It's not really offering any protection. But then we do have something far more substantial. So we've got this kind of entry level version for the urbanite, and then we've got a fit for purpose. I still wouldn't call it a rock slider. We call them heavy duty steps. We're trying to educate the Australians on what a rock slider is, and we got work. It was work in progress there. I think we're getting close, but we've got actually the same tubing that we put onto the really substantial front bumpers. So we're using this 60 millimeter. I need to talk in inches. Maybe like a 3-inch tube, as the frame of this heavy duty step. They're frame mounted, and then they've got a good kind of wet proof top plate. So they're frame mounted. They're a really substantial material. They will be load bearing in terms of you'll be able to jack the vehicle up off it and what have you. But the overall kind of design language of a slider is not quite that yet.
There's literal still steps hanging down from it.
There's not. It's a board. It's a flat platform, but it doesn't have that kind of rear kick out that you see on a slider in the US market. It's also not angled. We've got other heavy duty steps in the range that we offer for Tacomas and previous generation Tundras and Foreigners and what have you. And I think they've got a slight kind of angularity to them. They sit really well. They sit They sit next to the vehicle really well. And then we've got a flat top plate on them, so they work as a step and somewhat of a slider as well. But we're not. I'm not comfortable in saying it's a rock slider just yet.
The legal department jumped in right there, huh?
Yeah.
Work to be done.
Yeah. So what other kind of accessories? You guys got suspensions, a few different options suspensions, which is pretty cool to have those kind of ready to go pretty much here shortly.
Yeah,
some different options of bumpers, different options of step armor stuff. Any other accessories you guys got coming for the Tundra here?
Skid plates. So full skid plate system, as always. We really look at the front of the vehicle, the back of the vehicle, underneath, and then on top. And that's where when you get on top of the vehicle, that's where the bed covers come in. They'll also have in Australia we call them sport rails, but basically
accessory rails.
Accessory rails. And then we've got a collaboration going on at the moment with another significant roof rack brand in the US, and the jury's out at the moment. I need to do some fit testing, but we might have a roof rack for the Tundra as well.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, and other things like ditch light brackets. And I think that's it. The suspension development going on, again, like I said, I think at the top of the conversation, is about the right tool for the job. And there are certain parts of the market that we don't cater to yet. Definitely like the California scene. The stereotypical California scene with desert racing and what have you. So we're developing something for that market. Yeah.
How soon until we can get some rock crawler suspensions under a Tundra and get it through Fordyce?
July?
I'm here to ask the important questions, Luke.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, that's a dumb question. Don't answer that.
No. So, we will have long travel suspension for the Tundra.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So and we
That'll
do
be
that.
Cool.
Like we've got we call it like LFE, so long travel, just when it comes to the code of the product. So we offer it right now in say like a Land Cruiser, like an 80 series Land Cruiser. We've got long travel. We've got 6-inch kits with a lot of long travel. If you know the guys that are down at like RPM Garage, Steve and those guys, they're all running around on our 6-inch long travel 80 series kits, and they do the Rubicon every year. So we've got LFE shocks coming for the Tundra as well.
That's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting you to actually be like, yeah, we got that in development. We're coming out.
No, it's going to be a part of it's going to be a part of what we release in February, March.
I'm constantly impressed with Ironman, what you guys are doing. Jimmy and I talk about it all the time. We're like, nah, Ironman wouldn't be doing something like that. And then we go look and you guys have like 3 or 4 different options of it. We're like, what? Okay, that's awesome. That's cool. And then you guys just keep adding more and stuff. It's pretty rad. Kind of anything that people are looking to do, any job that people are looking to do with their vehicle. Like you said, you guys are developing different tools for all these different jobs out there. It's fun to see and fun to watch what you guys come out with. So
yeah, we're trying. I wish we could do it quicker. That's a constant thorn in my side, but you can only do what you can only do. And with all of those products, obviously we're trying to give you everything you need and nothing you don't. That's really, it doesn't matter if it's rooftop tents or if it's the suspension or if it's bumpers. We want to deliver the best product at the best price. Actually, and that is a point with the suspension. The foam cell pro suspension, again, that's on that truck down in Vegas this week. That full kit is going to be $2,000. Now you look at how that stacks up to the other brands in the market, and we are even more competitive than we have been historically, because normally brands bring out new suspension or new products for vehicles and they charge a premium for it because it's the latest and greatest. And we've never really done that. We don't overcharge somebody because a Forerunner is more popular than a Nissan hardbody.
Yeah,
we've kind of got a one price fits all situation, and this Tundra suspension is going to be phenomenal value for money, again, for everything that it can do.
Yeah, around $2,000. That's a great price for a nice upgraded suspension that is going to perform. Like you said, you guys have been doing a lot of testing. This has been in development for a while. and you're doing it the right way, which is nice. So being able to spend $2,000 and know that you're getting a pretty good damn quality product for your vehicle, that's going to add more to it rather than and not take away anything from it. That's a good value, man.
Yeah, to put it into perspective, there are some of the other well-known suspension brands out there. At $2,000, you get a 2-inch twin tube shock absorber that's not rebuildable, that's missing a lot of things. So yeah, we're very competitive, which is awesome. Again, there's a lot of pressure on people right now in terms of disposable income, and we want to be able to help them accessorize the vehicle and get out there, not rip them off.
What is the entry or the barrier of entry for the nitrogen filled shocks?
That is about $1,200.
Wow.
Yeah, and that nitro gas suspension is brilliant. It rides as well as the Foam Cell Pro. It's valved the same, and you get all the same components. It's just that the Foam Cell Pro obviously a much bigger shock. It's 3-inch shock body. We're using triple knock seals. We're using Fuchs oil. It's completely rebuildable. The piston rod's freaking massive. They're practically indestructible.
You can shoot them with deer slugs. So
you can take a shotgun to them.
We did hear that story.
Yep. There's a video somewhere on YouTube.
That's cool. So you guys are going to have the Tundra out at SEMA. Are you guys going to have multiple Tundras out there built up, or just one?
So we've got, there's only so many vehicles we could put onto the booth, and we've got a whole raft of vehicles that we could have taken. We've got 3 Tundras that are completely accessorized, but we're going to take one of them. We've got an F-150. So part of what we've been doing over the course of the last few years is trying to round out the collection or start to make accessories for US specific vehicles. So F-150, obviously the biggest truck in the market and the world, it seems to make sense to try and offer some accessories for that one. So we've got a full lineup of really mimicking what we've done for Tundra. So we've got a few different suspension options, like 3.5-inch lift kits in Foam Cell Pro, Nitro, and then another variant, a more entry-level price point. We've got those front bumpers, we've got those rear bumpers, we've got the steps, we've got the tonneau covers. So again, that kind of 360-degree accessorization and body protection as well. So that's on the booth, and we've layered in some of the third-party products as well. So we've got like a decked bed slide and a few other things. And then the other vehicle that we've got on the booth is the RAV4 hybrid, because the CUV market is just exploding, and they're capable. People love to people still want to adventure in those vehicles. So it's just the Subaru lineup was the first kind of collection that we launched to the market back in 2021, and that is phenomenally well. So it just made sense to continue the development of that lineup. So we launched RAV4 all-terrain suspension. I think it was around about July this year, and that's doing phenomenally well. We just brought out a heavy load option, so that's Spec C for the RAV4. And then we've also launched proper front protection and rear protection for the RAV4 as well.
I remember talking, I think we were talking with Wagner out at PNW Expo about going and jumping up. He told us, go jump over on that bumper over there and let me know if it moves at all.
It's solid. I mean, we've got 250-pound guys doing pull-ups off the thing, and it does not budge. And it's great. It's a great platform for accessorizing that vehicle with additional driving lights as well. So you get a bit more clearance out of the RAV or the Subarus. I think 10.1 inches of clearance, I think it takes it up to, which is pretty significant. And
that's pretty significant for a CUV, man.
Yeah, it is. I think a stock Jeep is 9 inches.
Yeah.
So, I was going to say my lifted Toyota is 12 and a quarter underneath the diffs, just driving on 37-inch tires driving down the road. So
it's good. It allows you to get a bigger wheel and tire on there, obviously. and then having that additional protection. And it is, that protection is equally as useful for somebody that's driving in a city, for fender benders and those little love taps that you get if you're in traffic, to somebody that's being a bit more adventurous. Obviously, there's certain limitations, but
the whole CUV market, the beauty about it is that it's helping get more and more people out into vehicular recreation, because it's something that you can go. You're not going to do super difficult stuff that you're really worried about breaking your vehicle every single time you take it out.
Yeah.
And so you can go out and enjoy the outdoors, enjoy a weekend away, a weekend camping trip, whatever, and then go back home and drive it around town, and you still get your gas mileage and comfort around town. It's a kind of a beautiful thing for the vehicular recreation market, for getting more people into it all. So to see you guys continuing support for it, I wish more companies would kind of step up and support those.
Yeah, we really, we look at our audience. We serve the outdoor enthusiast, and that outdoor enthusiast might be the millennial that's got a RAV4. They shop at REI and they're going to go skiing up at the mountain, on a weekend. We're allowing them to get to the mountain, or a bit further than they would do stock, all the way through to people with trucks that want to put 6-inch lifts and really mob around. They're still outdoor enthusiasts. They're just doing they're outdoors.
Yeah. That's cool. So you got the Tundra, the F-150, and the RAV4 hybrid in the booth. Is that the same RAV4 that was out at Expo?
It would be, yeah, correct. The white hybrid, which is a blast drive. We love driving that vehicle. So it's those three vehicles, and like I say, we've got a whole host of other ones that we would like to take with us, but floor space at SEMA is quite expensive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to bring one of the other Tundras out or something, I'll drive it around town for you guys for the week.
Well, we actually the three trucks are down in California right now. They're down at San Bernardino. They're at like San Bernardino Toyota, actually. So we've trucked them down there, and then myself, Fritz, who's our VP of marketing, and then one of the guys from the sales team. We're flying into LA on Saturday, and then we'll pick up the trucks and drive them over the desert. They'll be there for the week. So
nice.
We almost ended up driving down because we had an issue with the transportation, but we're flying instead.
It's a very boring drive, by the way.
But you're driving through the Mojave Desert, right?
Yeah, it's a desert.
As a Brit.
Yeah.
That's pretty epic.
Yes. Yeah. There is some visual benefits to it for sure, but it's, after an hour of desert looking out at a desert, you're like, we're still in the desert. Okay. And then it's desert all the way to Vegas. So
yeah, correct. I think it's a 3-hour drive, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, but it's like 3 hours just to get out of LA too.
That is true. Yeah, that's true. We've been working with other brands. So if anybody goes to SEMA, obviously we've got our booth there, and please come by and see us. We'd love to meet you. Anybody's listening to this. But equally, we've got other branded booths that have got vehicles on their stamp. We've helped them accessorize their vehicles as well. So there'll be Ironman rooftop tents and awnings and suspension, kind of all over SEMA, which is great.
Nice. Yeah, it'll be fun. I think it's going to be an interesting week. I'm really curious to see how it works with consumers coming out on Friday, opening it up. I know in the past they did between 50 and 100 tickets for consumers or something. I never really saw anybody with consumer credentials while I was there last time. So it'll be really interesting this time to see more consumers there and how that plays out, because I got to admit there's a lot of OEMs, a lot of companies pulling out of SEMA right now because they're not consumer focused. So I hope they can turn that around.
Yeah, I completely agree. And there's so much effort that goes into SEMA Why wouldn't you want to showcase it to as many people as possible?
Yeah, right.
And there's so many car enthusiasts. It's like such a missed opportunity, or it has been historically. So, yeah, I think it'd be amazing.
Well, awesome, man. Anything else that you guys got coming out that you want to tease about for all the listeners?
We do have a completely new lineup of rooftop tents and awnings coming out for 24. So I think there are 3 or 4 new rooftop tents. We've got 180 degree awnings, 270 degree awnings, with a whole host of new features packed into them, and we'll still offer them to the market at the same price as we do right now.
Cool.
So there's some really good feature enhancements across that collection, from weight to blackout materials to light integrations. There's a whole host of stuff with that product lineup, which I'm really excited for, because we do well with rooftop tents and awnings. And again, we sell so many of those. It's one of the primary accessories for, again, the outdoor enthusiast, just to get out there and enjoy the outdoors, from families to individuals. So we've got those new products coming out early next year. We are still obviously designing for current and past generation vehicles as well. So there's even for the Tacoma as it stands today, there are other products in the works. Same for the Tundra, same for the Lexus GX460, because we've not rounded out those offerings. We've not rounded out those offerings completely. The new Ford Ranger, obviously, that's kind of just starting to come out onto the lots. We'll start to offer products for F250 and F350 as well. So that'll be probably early to mid next year, where we're looking at a full lineup of products for those vehicles. Yeah, Tacoma, Land Cruiser. What else is coming? I'm trying to think of other new vehicles that are coming out to the market. I do have a Cybertruck on order, which will be interesting to develop accessories for.
Do you guys really have a Cybertruck on order to do development on?
Uh-huh.
How about the Rivian?
We've actually got a Rivian service center just down the road here. I need to get my hands on one so that we can develop some products for it. But yeah, the Cybertruck.
I will say Rivian did a great job at marketing to outdoor enthusiasts.
They did a great job. They did really well at pitching themselves there with that audience. I used to go to Outdoor Retailer, which is it's like SEMA for the outdoor industry, and it's twice a year. There's OR summer and OR winter. And Rivian used to be at the, they probably still are, but even 5 years ago, Rivian was there showcasing that vehicle to that audience. And then obviously they got great ambassadors, like they got Alex Honnold, who obviously is the climber, and a whole other lineup of outdoor-based ambassadors. They've done a good job. And that truck, I've not heard anything negative about I've only heard positive things about the performance of that vehicle.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I got to watch a small fleet of them, 4 or 6 of them, something like that, going through the Rubicon, or trying to go through the Rubicon. They got through Gatekeeper, got into the bowl, had lunch, and it was the group of engineers. So they ended up going back out Gatekeeper, and I ended up behind them. So I sat out with some popcorn and chips and watched them go through Gatekeeper, which was hilarious to watch.
Wow.
But the cool thing about them was one of the trucks was running a smoker in the bed. And so they were just smoking meat while they were going down the trail. Everything's electric. They had an electric smoker in the bed. So that was pretty funny, and it smelled great.
Oh, gosh.
Smelled like Austin.
That's the place, like Austin. It's Austin. The scent in the air in Austin is smoked meat, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me about everything that Ironman 4x4 is coming out with, and everything that you guys have. It's always a pleasure to sit down with you, and it seems like we need to do this like every 2 weeks, because you just are always pumping stuff out. So thanks for joining us. Super excited that we could get you on the air with us today. Why don't you tell the audience where people can find you, for Ironman, and maybe if you know the booth number for SEMA, let people know that as well.
Well, obviously you can find Ironman on all the social channels. Well, most of the social channels at least. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. Our website is ironman4x4america.com. You also find there's any good 4x4 store all across the country. We do have a physical store up in Portland, Oregon. That's our flagship store where you can meet the team, which are phenomenal. We've got a build center here, so you can literally bring your vehicle in stock, and we can completely outfit it ready for practically any adventure, global adventure. And then we've also got Ironman 4x4 kind of co-branded partner stores in certain areas of the country as well. We've got a couple down in the California area. We've got a partnership with Cave Toyota down in Long Beach, where they've got an internal Ironman 4x4 kind of shop-in-shop. We do some work with Thousand Oaks Toyota down in that neck of the woods. We've got another partner store up in Beaverton, Portland. We've got 2 partner stores in and around the Seattle area, Burien and Doxon. And then we've also got another partner store out in Denver with Urban Motors. So we're starting to get a bit of a footprint, which is awesome. And then
you guys are starting to get to be all over the place. That's cool.
We're getting there. And then if anybody's ever got any questions on products, we've got real people answering phones, and they're, our team, everybody that works in the business is an enthusiast in some kind of manner, from full on overlanding to people that love just going camping with their family. We all do what we do. So if you for the audience out there, if they've ever got any questions, call our team, and you can find the number on the website, or just message us on social media, and we'll get back to you and answer those questions.
Cool. Awesome. Sounds good, man. I guess, Jimmy, how can people get a hold of us if they've got some feedback, or if anybody out there wants to send feedback through us, so we can get it over to Ironman team, Luke, Wagner, Miller, Fritz, all the top guys there that know all the answers to stuff. Jimmy, how can they do that?
Yeah, you can reach us via email, Jimmy or Tyler at snailtrail4x4.com. You can find me at snailtrail4x4 on Instagram, and Tyler's over at 4x4 Toyota Tyler. You can always phone in at area code 916-345-4744.
Sweet. I guess without further ado then, final words for everybody. Jimmy can go first. He's used to it. So, Jimmy, final words for everybody out there, all the listeners.
I'm super excited about these electronic tonneau cover setup things. I want to check that out.
Yeah. Luke, any final words for everybody out there?
This is probably stereotypical, but obviously a huge thank you to you guys. We really enjoy getting the time to come on the podcast and talk to you guys and kind of foster this relationship that we've had going now for a little while. So huge thank you. And then outside of that, and I probably said this last time, for everybody, is like, get out there, go have some fun.
Yep, I love it. We're big proponents of that. And just FYI, Ironman booth at SEMA is 61107.
Thank you.
I got it in my notes. I was like, I got to come by and say hi to you guys. So cool, man. Thanks for coming on, Luke. And thanks for making the time this evening to sit down. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys next week. And Jimmy will see you probably at an expo here soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
And with that, my friends, keep crawling.